At this stage, before importing into Footprint Factory, I like to use Scrapebox for several different things. If I'm using a success list or a verified list from GSA, some of my lists are quite old, some of them a year old even, and maybe not all the URLs are alive, and it's probably best to check that before you import it into Footprint Factory, so you're not wasting time. Also, removing duplicate domains, that's also important. So for a GSA list, the first thing I usually do is check see if the URLs are alive. This is before you do the remove duplicate domains. The reason for that is because when you have a verified list from GSA, you probably hit the same domain a few times, and maybe some of the pages are up and some of them are down. So rather than doing the duplicate domains and then possibly only leaving pages from that domain that are down, it's best to just check all the live pages, and then after you've got the live ones, then you remove duplicate domains. And I'm guessing that all of these are live because they've been scraped from the search engine, so the majority of them will be live, so I'm not going to do that step. The only thing I'm going to do is remove duplicate domains. Okay, I have 563 pages from unique domains, so export that list once you've done everything you wanted to do to it. Okay, so then we have our list of 563 URLs in Footprint Factory. I have set my threads to 20, I could probably go higher than that, let's put it to 30. Timeout, I'm going to put 45, and those file sizes are good. I'm going to name my folder just so it's easy to find if I have to rerun this list with different settings later. Footprint Factory Pro has 3 modes and you can use them at the same time. So I'm going to use the text snippets and also the process URLs. So text snippets, let's go into the options. Filter out characters, treat pipes as snippet separators. Okay, so all 3 of those should really be checked. Minimum snippet length 5, max snippet length. 500 chars is too long, I'm going to put it at 200. Just having a quick look to see if all the right ones are unchecked. And then for URL settings, I'm going to compare path and file name. And what that means is that these URLs are going to be compared by their file path. So that you have the file name, which in this example here is custom key 25.htm, and then on the other ones you have paths like download, clip, art, borders. So those are things I'm going to compare because I'm going to use those as a sift filter later when it comes to scraping even more targets. So that's all done, and then I'm just going to click get footprints. Now as it's working, and it does work very quickly, you will get some fails, and that'll either be because the URL is not live and it's timed out, or sometimes it's below the minimum file size. The reason we have the minimum file size is because sometimes you get pages that are maybe 1 or 2K big, and that probably means that it's just a 404 page that says this is a 404 page, click here to go to home page or something like that, and obviously that's no use to us. So we want a page that actually has some HTML on it, so that's why we set it to 10K. You can set it lower if you want, but I found this gives me good results. 200K is actually on the large size because the file size doesn't include any media that's on the page. It's just the HTML and CSS and JavaScript and any text content that's on that page. Images and videos aren't included, so 200K of text is quite a lot, so it's quite a big page. And if you set this too high, then it will bog down Footprint Factory, it will slow it down. Okay, we're just waiting for the last thread. Okay, so that's done, and we've got 56,000 plus snippets. Okay, so I'm looking through this list to see what we should be removing. Okay, well, I'm going to remove everything below 3%. Remove those. So we had 56,500, and we now have 110. That's still too high for my liking. These, they're not going to help us at all. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this by myself. I think you get the idea that some of these, I mean, there's all these different months on here, which suggests to me that the platform shows dates posted and things like that, so that could be useful. And even the really general ones like search, they're no good on their own, but since we're going to be using permutation, so basically I'm going to combine a minimum of 2 or 3 of these together. Together they should give back some results. So I'm just going to go through here, and I'll show you how many I've got left when I'm done. Okay, so I've got it down to 96 snippets, so I'm going to then go onto the URL footprints, and let's have a look at some of these paths. Okay, so the most common one is a nothing, which means that it was a homepage URL for a domain or a subdomain. Let's see, we've got view topic, show thread, forum. Okay, so actually there weren't very many commonalities there.